Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You can see I'm here. Here's my hand. Tonight we are attempting to go 58 laps or bust. So the aim of tonight, Tsukuba in the human comedy, is 58 laps is the challenge, isn't it? That's what I've set myself to do of late. And of late, been quite difficult. I keep going, and that is the case. It's proving to be rather tough. So there we have it. I've got my chat screen up. I will be able to see what you say, but I'm going to be concentrating mainly on it. You might notice, bottom left hand corner, that there is some significant... There's another new screen. So whereas I'm on this side, on the other side you're going to see, and I'll probably make it just a smidgen bigger. I don't want to interfere with your main view, but that is going to be my previous attempt at the race, and I'm going to attempt to race that. That should be 57 laps. We're going to aim for 58 laps, and I'm going to try and beat it. And I've got a new setup. So if you would see my room now, I've got a chat screen right in front of the monitor just down there. I've got the race monitor just here. Just down here is a full screen video live of the actual race. On a screen just above that, just up there, I've got a screen with the actual strategy I'm going to use. Then I've got a screen with the OBS video editing system, and then I've got a screen with another live with another version of YouTube on. So it's all very hectic, and I've got a drink. I'm all prepared to go. I need to know what time it is, and I can't find my phone. Where's my phone? What have I done with it? I don't know where my phone is. Got to go find my phone. 1 second. There we go. Found my phone, and I found my glasses, which is always going to help, isn't it? I'm just going to sit down any second now, and we're going to run through the setup. The car we're going to use is in front of us. This is what we know is for this race. So just make sure I've got audio all working. Yes, I've got video capture audio. I've got no audio from the actual race screen. So when we did this the other day, there was a different setup. Need to get my wheel activated. So the settings for the car, racing softs. I've changed to a racing soft, should be the first thing you'll notice, and with that being the case, fully customizable suspension. Not going to go through them all. I'm going to make a YouTube video from this as well, so if I'm successful, that is, one would hope. So we'll just allow you to freeze frame the actual activities in front, but as it's going to be, the setup is as follows. Fully customizable suspension. I'm not going to run through them all, as I said. Fully customizable diff. Downforce on the front and rear is 70 and 350. Fully customizable ECU at 90. Ballast at 6. Ballast position at 50. Power restrictor at 99. Manual transmission set to 260. And a manual adjustment. If you set the final drive to 4.067, then adjust these, you'll get the right ones. Again, freeze frame that as you see fit. We have no turbocharger. We have the racing air cleaner, sports brake system, normal pads, brake controller, and we have the brake balance all the way to the rear to take the pain off the front. We're not bothered about making it feel good or bad. We're just going to deal with that pain. Clutch and flywheel is going to be racing. Then we've got stroke up, engine balance tuning, racing crankshaft, and increased body rigidity, and that gets us in at 59985. Now you could apply the final one there, the titanium connecting conrods, and just drop the air cleaner, but I think the fuel economy is better with the air cleaner. So that's up for you to take a shot on. Let's get off to the race. Oh, let's talk about that before we go anywhere. We're going to do 3 stops. We're going to do 13 laps on the first stint. Then we're going to pit for tyres and fuel. We're going to we're not going to short shift. We're going to go fuel map 2 for the second stint, and we might be able to just whack in a couple. If I actually do the first 2 laps out the pits on fuel map 1, then do fuel map 2 to the pit stop on lap 20, end of lap 27, that'll be good. We should then be able to go into stint 3 where it's just raining and put on the intermediates. We'll then run fuel map 3 to lap 40. We'll then go to map 6 to lap 46, and then we'll change off the mediums back onto the soft tyres and head to the end of the race. It says take 14 laps of fuel, but I think I'm only going to aim for 12 laps of fuel to get us to the end, and we're going to go fuel map 1 absolutely all the way to the end. And I know I'm going to mess this up a couple of times, so let's just go through the settings. You can see I've already done the 58, but I haven't got a video and I haven't shown you how to do it. The sound didn't record, so this is why we're here tonight. So assist settings, traction control 1, default ABS. We are putting on the ASM and the counter steering on strong for dealing with the wet. And the controller settings, controller sensitivity, steering sensitivity 5, force feedback max torque 5, force feedback sensitivity 6. Now I'm hoping, just looking at the time with my dodgy eyes, it's almost 9 o'clock. There is somebody wanting to watch this stream, and it was them that convinced me to do this. We've actually got 10 people watching, which is a bit of a shocker. So what I've got to do is I've got to quickly nip over, start the video working, then come back and we will go at exactly the same time as the other video. And you should be able to compare me at 57 laps to what we're doing today. And I'm going to have to reset that every time we do it. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge, but should we see where we go? Let's give it a shot. And we'll go when that video goes. And you can see an image of me, but you shouldn't hear the sound, hopefully. So we'll go when the video goes. We're off. Roughly about the same time. So. And I get to talk my way through this all the way again, don't I? It's actually an absolute blast, this race. I'm into this cold as well. No practice today. So to all of you watching, if you're here to make sure you can get the 58 and see how we're done, welcome along. If you're here because you've no idea, you've just clicked on the stream, please do stick around. This will get excited. You will see me get rather stressed. So here we go, first lap round, a 1.0. We did, on the video we did a 59.746, so it was quicker. I've got to get back into the groove here. I should be able to force this car more than the other one. We are on softs as opposed to the mediums that we're on in the other video. You can see I'm behind the game at the moment, although we did start off just a fraction quicker because I pressed the button after. But we'll make a good go at this. It's gone through start finish, so there's a 58.991 and he did a 59.170, so we're quicker than he is. He is me. I am hoping to get this on the first hit because I've done this about 6 times now, once successfully and the rest trying to get a video and I keep crashing the damn thing. It does get challenging, and that's the ASM making the car slide in the middle of the corner. Somebody said to me overnight that it is a little bit frustrating, ASM. It just tweaks the car in the middle of the corner. There it goes. The 58.8, he did a 58.9. So we're ahead, and we're going to put in half a second more than we are on softs versus mediums at this part of the race. What we're trying to do is gain on the first stint to allow us to do a tyre change, but on the second stint we're going to aim to go much faster than we did in the previous video, bottom left hand corner, because that's where the race is actually won, in that section. In the stint, it's won in stint 2, as long as you can hold it together in the other two, of course. So we got a 58.899, he did a 58.946, and the targets is 58.5 we need to be doing. If we're doing 58.5s, we're going to gain enough time. There's a 58.5, that's what we need. I didn't brake deep enough there. I let the front end come out. Catching up with Mr. Gallo. Car felt sluggish coming out of that apex. Up into 6th place. We're going to see the entire field in front of us then. Fraga has the lead of the race. Here's Al in 2nd. Cookabun is in 3rd. Oh, Mr. Lopez trying to cut us out there. Just concentrating a bit as we went into there. 58.7 on the last lap. We need to get into the lower 58s now as the fuel weight drops off. We need to be making sure we get into the 57s, to be honest, because we need that advantage as we go into the pit stop, because we're going to change tyres, whereas in the video on the left we're not going to. He's just going to run with the same tyres. Now I don't know if you can do that on softs, to be honest. I don't know if the tyres have got that in them. You can see the front left is now starting to take the hit. This should see us dip to a low 58. A 57.7's great, that's where we need to be. On demand as well. That's because the fuel weight is dropping off. And also, don't forget to cut this corner and this one every lap. Brake as you come off the curbs on the left. You can get that back in sliding, it doesn't matter. Counter steer will hold that back in. We're up into 4th place now. There's Mr. Cookabun, Mr. Hizal and Fraga all in front of us. Just 2.5 seconds separating us all, as we could try and go around the outside. Wasn't very successful. We tried the long line, slip into the slipstream, see if we can get Hizal with a dive bomb. We can't. We're going to get Cookabun instead, blocked to the outside. Then we're going to run outside on Hizal. Want to get in front of him. 58.5 isn't so bad considering there's traffic. Lap 8. Now I like to be in the lead by around about lap 7, but not successful this time. We've really got an hour. Now we're going to get clear traffic for 3 or 4 laps. We need to start to punch in some real good lap times. How far ahead are we of the guy behind of the video? Haven't been watching that for a little while, so let's just find out. He's not in 1st yet. He's in 4th place, but he looks like he's ahead of us on the road. Yep, he's on lap 8, the same as we are. We're just making kind of progress, but we need to make better progress. We're about tied on the road. And it's key when we're racing that video to make sure we're ahead So the next 4 laps are crucial. We're pitting at the end of lap 13. There we go. Lappers are starting to get behind us now. And we're going to come on them quite quickly, so don't expect them to understand why the blue flags are flying. And they're not flying. Look, yes they are now. It's a bit too late, young man. That was an interesting line through there, wasn't it? Back in the 57s, that's where we want to be. Back on the gas as early as we can at the tip of that apex. Look at that, we're putting a second on him virtually every lap now as he blows that corner. I actually cut the hairpin, cut the chicane just a little bit too much and had to brake a little bit later, so we'll expect this lap to be a bit slower. Not concentrating there, and that was looking down at the left hand screen. That was a little bit tricky. These are the skills we try and demonstrate when we're doing this. I don't find the draft gives you much benefit, you know. You should be able to use it a little bit more, I think, when you're racing these back markers. This will be a 59. Oh, 58.1 is good. I didn't lose that much time. Obviously the perfect turn 1. They're getting the blue flags nice and early. Well done, marshals. Let them know. So we're into the first 10 minutes of the race are done. And we're now starting to show a bit of a gap just to the guy on. He was on mediums, wasn't he? RMs, yeah. We're just ahead of him. So we're not actually making that much time on these tyres. But it will pay out. It's not in this first sector that we make the difference. It's the second stint where we actually do it. 58.6. Needed a 58.2. Too many mistakes, he says. We're 13 seconds in the lead over Mr. Fraga. 14 seconds now. Missed that apex again. In later stints, that's a first gear corner. That I might actually try that next lap actually. Well, we're going on to lap 13, so we've only got 1.6 laps of fuel to go anyway, and we're probably just 3 seconds ahead of myself when I was on the mediums. Look, Bishop's gained a place, if you can see that. Come on, move. Now we're going to pit and we're going to just change tyres, take all the fuel. I don't know what fuel I had left. I had 0.5, we got 0.8, so we're going to use less fuel than that guy. And it's in the second stint we're going to make all the difference. So here we go. We're going to go into the pits now. Pitting at the end of lap 13. In we go. Changing tyres and taking all the fuel. 9 people watching. A little bit of chat. Thank you very much, folks. Here we go then. Right, so 47.12. The other video's probably about a second and a half in front. We pit at 47. 58.04. We've changed tyres and we're probably going to come out just behind him, as you can see. But we're not going to. He's away already. Come on, go, go, go! This is the downfall of having to change tyres. But we're going to keep it on fuel map 1, and we're coming out in 6th place. He was out in 6th as well. So Beauvoir is in front of us. We're going to go left side, then we're going to cut through the middle. And we're going to change to fuel map 2 at the end of lap 15. We want an absolute flyer here. Dive bomb. Oh! Now, massive thanks to Red, who gave me the setup. I have adjusted it to my own tastes, and I've taken it off the mediums and put it to softs, but it is the crux of your setup, pal. Thank you very, very much for what you've done. So here we go then. Let's try and put in a decent lap, and then at the end of this lap we've got to change to fuel map 2 to make sure we get to the end of lap 27. Just take note of how much that cut is. If you're going to attempt to replicate this, make sure you cut that amount. So we're making our way back up to the front of the pack. These guys have all got a pit, don't forget, and it's starting to get grey and gloomy. Now we're going to change to fuel map 2. There we go. It's the guy behind, it's the guy in the video we've got to beat. That's the one we're racing against. Here's Al's going to give us a challenge here, going into turn 1. I've had to just try and close him out. He's going to come back at us. He's on the inside, he's touching my back door. Blocked him out there. I don't really want to be racing the AI, I want to be challenging. That lap was a 58.5. That's exactly where we want to be. The previous race I did, that first lap out was a 1 minute, so we're 1.5 seconds ahead already. And we're about 1.5 seconds. Mr. Cookerman's gone to the pits. Fraga has now taken their lead of the race. Cookerman was on 1% of fuel, and we're 5.4 seconds back. Another 58.8. Need to get it down in the 58.5s. Come on. Trying to go as late as I can on the brakes, but these aren't the best brakes possible. These are the normals. I'm not using first gear yet for that part of the track because I want these tyres to be good. Short shifted a little bit there. Mr. Fraga's gone to the pits. Okay, we have the lead of the race again. Oh, we gone deep. Pulsed the brakes a little bit there. Shouldn't have, should be slamming them on. Coming around to lap Mr. Solis. Fastest lap of the race is ours at a 57.7. We're not going to get anywhere near it if we keep dinking the AI's bumpers like that. Need to just avoid them. They can be worth like 1/3 of a second, half a second doing that bump. His last lap was a 59.585. Ours was a 58.252. So we're starting to make the difference here, because his tyres are a stint old. He used the same tyres in the last stint as he does in this one. 59.1, that was 2 incidents with AI. Need to just smarten up a little bit. That's half a second lost to the cause, that. And we're now distinctly ahead. And we need to start putting in some better times. We're not going to do it sliding the back end like that, are we? Let's do it with first gear at that apex, see if that's going to help us. We're going to burn that front left tyre, but it doesn't matter. Mr. Dalton again to be lapped. He's actually pitted. We're 28 seconds in the lead, and the other guy's only 19 seconds in the lead. So we've got 9 seconds on the race, but that doesn't mean anything at all. It's all about where we are on the track. So there's a 58.6. That's coming back round to where we need to be. Now we're approaching lap sort of 6 of this stint. So this has probably got to be one of the fastest laps we're going to do this stint. Because it's 6, 7 and 8 now that are the fastest laps. Really ride that curb. You can put your left tyres on that grass at this point of the race, it doesn't matter. Now hopefully you guys aren't getting interrupted by adverts while you're watching this. I've turned the adverts off. So this is a freebie. Ooh, going a bit wide. 58.3, that's good. It's negative to the time, that's what we want. I'm still coming in a bit narrow and apexing a bit sharp. I need to just widen that up a bit. That'll get me flowing. Same there, the back end keeps coming round. Beauvoir again, look. We were behind Beauvoir when we came out the pits, but he pitted, so this is going to be him a lap down. And he braked nicely there to allow us to take the apex. Beautiful long apex. Last lap was a 58.3, his was a 59.6. So that was 1.3 better off to us. Let's abuse these tyres, we know we can. 58.4, that's inside the 58.5, which is the target we're setting ourselves. Wear that grass away, give the groundsman something to do. This is the corner I have to be careful of later in the race. That's the one where I keep stacking it. And when we start to get round to lap 46, it's this corner I need to watch out for. Aquaplaning in the heavy rain. And then when we've pitted for the final stint and we're going for it, it's the apex at the end here that I've got to be careful of. Lap 22. Gallows going to the pits, that's nicely done. One less to overtake. Mr. Yamanaka, you're next on the list. Gallows down in 8th place. He's pulled over, he's going to give me the wide line in. He was going to, but he didn't, did he? Come on, Mr. Yamanaka, we've played games with you before. .58.5 the last lap. His was a 59.777, so we're on top here. We're starting to really stretch out the lead, and as I said, this is the critical stint. This is where you need to get your lead, and this makes all the difference to the race. This is the time you're going to need after the final pit stop to make this happen. So at lap 27, in 4 laps time, we're going to be diving in there, and we've got 4.3 on the fuel, so we're great. We're absolutely bob on there. And then we're going to go to intermediates and fuel map 3. Going to dive to the inside of the apex here. Going to use the AI to just keep me in on the apex. That wasn't so bad. Front left tyres looking a little bit worn. I think that's our friend, isn't it? Mr. Lopez to our right hand side. Here's Miazano and Hizal again. Going to go around the outside. There's a record in there somewhere. There's a piece of music. Slim Jim right round the inside there. They actually left me enough room. You can see the gap now really opening up. That last lap was a 58.294 and his was a 58.972, so 3/4 of a second advantage over the previous race. And now you can see distinctly we're over the finish line and he's just entering the final corner, so really starting to open that gap up. I don't know whether this is a poor performance on softs or whether that was a really good performance on mediums. Not forgetting that car has more power than this car and the rain's starting to come down. So we're going to start to see the performance drop off on these tyres. Track's going to start to get wet. The good thing about this race is the weather is the same all the time. And the thing that really worries me is I'm going to go faster than the rain actually arrives. So based on what this strategy is planned, it's planned on the events that happen. When the rain starts to come, as the rain gets heavier is when you go to the pits. I sometimes wonder if I go too fast, will I overtake that process and make it a little bit harder? Rain's just starting to show on the rain gauge. Another 58.6, which isn't too bad. That last lap was a 59.06. Not brilliant, and his was a 58.972, so we lost time to him. It was 59.299. So we made up a little bit. Lap 26. Mr. Wilkes going to leave us room. Yes, he is. I like to run left along that curb and brake halfway along the green curb. Where it sort of comes kinked and goes straight is where I brake. We're doing pretty well for keeping a 59 off the card. They aren't very significant 59s, the one that are on there, look. A 59.158 and a 59.006, so we've done okay. Just up to a little bit of traffic here, which isn't very friendly. Mr. Fraga there in third place. We're pitting the end of this lap, so we need the mediums when we get round. That was quite pain-free. Oh, that just braking in the wet conditions was difficult. Right, we're going to accelerate in first, in field map 1. Diving into the pits, but I'm just going to set it to 3 before we go in. There it is. Now it's ready for when we come out. We're going to take the inters and all the fuel. And look at the distance. He's not yet in the pits. I think we were like 33.08. And he's in at 32.58. So we're about 10 seconds up. Pit stop should be identical now. So we're both changing tyres. And we're both taking fuel. He had 0.9, I had something similar to that, didn't I? But I run 2 quicker laps. So over 14 laps we made up like 10 seconds. Which isn't so bad, I don't think. If you go for the fact that we were on fuel map 2 with what would we call it, with a slightly lower power car. Oh, look how much that slides into there. I've got to adjust my driving now. Fuel map 3 is going to be slow. Now we're going all the way to lap 40 on these tyres and this fuel on this fuel map. So then when we get to 40 we change into fuel map 6 for 6 laps. We've got a 1 minute 11 second lead. If you look to the screen on the left, he's only 31 seconds ahead. Just got to watch the front sliding out and away on this corner. So out lap, ours was a 112, his was 113, that was a 123, and we're going to get to see his any minute if I keep my eyes on the screen I'm supposed to be on. His was a, here he comes, a 123.687, so we're beaten by half a second, which is all good. It's all power, it's all positive to us. This is all time we're gaining for the last stint. We've got a lower power car, not massively, but that should give us better traction because we'll spend less time slipping, I think, because there'll be less torque. 12.4 laps of fuel, he had 12.6, so we're alright. We are going to be slower, we know that, it's wet and we're on inters. But over the next couple of laps you're going to start to see it dry up a bit and the AI will go to the pits again. And they will take their wets off because they've gone for inters at the moment. I think a lot of cars were pitting, I believe. These tyres are just coming to us now, they're just starting to like the conditions, and you can see a dry line forming as the rain's backing off. So we just now need to start rattling round and we need to get as low a time as possible. I would like to see times around 101.5, but I think they're going to be 101.2. Sorry, 102. Even our last lap was a fraction faster than his. And I appreciate you probably can't see the times on that tiny little screen on the right hand side if you're watching on a phone or similar, even on a big TV, but I've got it on a big screen down here, so it makes it easy for me to monitor where I am against that previous time. And I think it will help massively if you had that screen of a previous attempt to yours on just in an eye line where you can see it. That was a 101.8 the last lap. That was where we want to be. Just using first gear to check the car as we go into that right-hander. That's where I like to brake, just there. Oh, Mr. Gallo, look, he's dropped a place. He's down a 9th. Going to try and take his slipstream if it's going to help us. Go around the outside of Mr. Gallo, I think. 101.6, that's good. If we can get it down to 100s, that would be even better, but back end came round. So Mr. Fraga's the first to go in to say inters aren't the best, but we're going to ignore that advice and we're just going to stick with the inters and drive on through. We're going to save on the pit stop because we know the tyres are going to last. Fuel weight's coming down, so car will get faster as we go past Mr. Beauvoir again. That was aggressive on our behalf. He didn't like that. Trying not to short shift too much, trying to rev it out. And we are considerably ahead of him now. I don't believe we're losing time against our previous video. A 101.5, there we go, getting quicker. You're not going to play the same game with me, young man. You're not going to lean on me, Mr. Rubilart. I know you hate me, but that's down to Lake Maggiore, I'm afraid, my friend. This is a different race. Miazano said he's had enough of the Inters. No short shifty here. Now we're using fuel map 3 to make sure we get to lap 40. But if you're doing this yourself, you'll notice that the fuel, when we get to lap 40, is not showing 6 laps. But we're going to change to fuel map 6 and it will sort itself out. Now the only thing I would suggest is at the pit stop, we're only needing to do 11 laps. But we're going to change to fuel map 1. And the fuel map will have been affected by the fact we've used fuel map 2, fuel map 3. So it's going to be slightly out. So I would suggest taking a full lap extra that you need. So I know my pit strategy says to take to lap 14, but I actually think you only need 12 laps of fuel because you don't need to complete that 58th lap. You only have to cross the line. But we'll have to see. That last lap was a 1:02 after our little incident with Mr. Rubilar. That's a second lost for us, so let's see if we can just gain that back a little bit. See if we can put a decent 1:01 in. Get on the gas a bit early. That front left tyre is scrubbing. There's a 1:17. That's not so bad. It could be better. The guy on the video to my left, that knobhead, is doing 1:02 mids. We want to be doing 1:01 mids. Front left tyre is half burnt away. But I'm being a bit careless with that front left tyre. His Al's going in off his Inters. There's a bit of wet in that corner. Oh, there's a gaggle of traffic in front of me. Not liking the looking of that. I'm starting to feel a bit anxious now. Just knowing that we're over halfway through the race. And we're coming down to the crook section. The bit where it really all matters. It all does matter. That was a 1:017 and the rain's starting to come now. So they're all going to go to the pits again now when they realise they've gone back to their racing tyres. His Al's going to be really frustrated because he was the last one to go in. Look, he's dropped down to 6th place. Mr. Dalton about to get lapped again. At all times be careful of overtaking them on the right hand side down here because they will go to the pits and they'll drive like tanks. They'll just pick a direction and go, and if you're in the way, you're in trouble. We don't run on that green bit very often. That was slow. Now, I'm starting to think about lap 40, dropping to fuel map 6. And I'm trying to stop myself thinking about the pit stop and how we're going to do it. I'm going to come out of the pit stop on fuel map 6. I've tried dropping it to fuel map 1 and the acceleration spins you. Just going to go fuel map 6 as we come out of the pit stop, just until we can get onto the dry line, and then we'll go where we need to go. Those first laps are going to be treacherous. So just as the rain's coming down now, we're starting to see the fuel gauge come up close to the point where the intermediate becomes the best tyre for the day. I really have hammered that front left, haven't I? That's not looking healthy. Have I overcooked it? One would suggest. It's not giving me any grip round that corner. A 1:024, Time is falling away purely because of the water on the ground. Now the tyre, the water depth is up there. He's not pitted yet. They're all starting to significantly slow down, aren't they? Going to get it back into second gear just to try and ease off on that front tyre. Round the outside. Yeah, they're all going in now, so we need to stay up the left-hand side. They will cut violently across the track. Portilla there offering us the slipstream. That's great. Some of them will go direct to wets, one would suggest. Some of them will go to winters. Here we go, the times are just starting to drop off now. Lap 39. And I can promise you it's about to start bucketing down again any minute. And it'll probably be just as we start to enter that final corner where I would suggest. Yeah, some guys going to winters. Just watch Mr. Hizal, see what he picks. He's gone straight to wets, so he's skipped a stop. Now we're going to fuel map 6. The guidance says lap 40, it doesn't say the end of lap 40, so I'm just going early because based on that rain, look how much harder it's getting. And we did a 104. He's doing 105s on the video. And you can see how far ahead we are. He's just going into the final turn now. And this is just the difference between the two setups. This is the amount of time extra you're gonna need in that final stint. Because that final stint is mighty tricky with any time less than what I'm gonna have here. And it's still difficult, you're still under pressure. Final 20 minutes of the race. We're ticking down 19 minutes 20 seconds to go. And we're gonna end up going a lot slower here. If you've got this far before and you think, oh, I'm going so slow, I'm never going to make it, stick in with it, folks. Stick at it. It's a tough track. First gear and on the brakes to make the car turn in. Second gear to try and hold the traction, tap the brakes. Get the car going around the corner. You have to feel your way. 108, that's not so bad. It's got to wait a long time to see what the comparative time was in the wet. First gear, get it round, little bit of throttle, little bit of pump, let the car slide if it wants to. But this is the tricky bit here, between laps 41 and lap 40, these are the tricky ones. Oh yeah, get the car around, come on. I'd rather be slower than spinning. Keep it in first gear. Short shift second, short shift third. Get it round these corners. Don't let the back end spin out. First gear, diving down. That front tyre, that front left, is not going to wear a massive amount now. Lap 41 and it's bucketing. Fuel's looking alright. I know we've got 5 laps to go. Just control the car through the corner. It's the rainwater is now on that rain gauge up into the final sector. You've got to drive on the throttle here. You've got to make sure you've got control. That's a 110. We're still going about a second a lap faster than the car on the previous video, previous attempt. Oh, no. Oh, cripes alive. This is what I mean by got to control the car. I'm going to short shift it because I don't want that back end spinning. We're only on lap 42 and it's one hell of a waste of 40 minutes. Well, it'd be 45 almost, 46.55. Sorry, 44.55. 2.4 laps remaining, we're good. It's still bucketing down, braking early for the final corner. Trying to take a tighter line than Mr. Beauvoir again. Seeing lots of Mr. Beauvoir today, aren't we? That's a 1:11.9. We did an almost identical lap, last lap, to our colleague. Mr. Exposito just came out the pits. Fraga's going in off his inters. Can we get up the inside of Mr. Beauvoir? Yeah, we'll use him nicely. Everybody on inters is now going in. Mr. Hizal's going to benefit here because he went straight to wets. Intelligent driver, Mr. Hizal, and if he's watching, well done, sir. I do wonder if any of the drivers from the top tier actually watch any YouTubes that I do, and I wonder what their reaction is. I bet they flipping hate me. I bet they do. Treating them like dirt. I think I'm quite respectful, to be honest. I just use them occasionally. However, we'd like to see that feedback. Oh no, front end, brake, back on the throttle. Oh, that's how slippery it's getting. Lap 43. My Omen lap is lap 44. That's the one I normally stuff it on. So let's just cross the fingers. A 1:12.6. We're still faster than the other guy, even though we're blooming slow. We're doing alright. He's still coming round the final corner, so we are approximately 15-16 seconds ahead. As we're going so slowly there, but I don't want to spin it here. Lap 44 is the Omen lap, as we've said. It's the one that I don't like. Once we get past it, we're good. Who's that in front? Is that Mr. Exposito? Or is it Mr. G. Soto? It's Mr. G. Soto. There he is. He actually did a faster lap than us last time, about 0.8 of a second. So 1.3 laps remaining to do 2 laps. Is anybody worried? I'm not. At the speed we're going, short shifting, that'll be fine. Not getting past another 1:11. I'm happy with that. So what we'll start to notice now is the actual rain. There's the gap in the clouds. We can see the last of the darkness moving over the top, and that isn't the darkness as in I believe in a thing called love. Not them guys. It's the cloudy darkness. Now I often think at this part that I'm going so slow that I'm going to trash the rest of the race, but you have to go slowly here to keep the car under control, and you're not going to get much more out of it. Mr. Miazano's actually gone in the pits off his wets. Is he going in early? Can he see it clearing up? We've got 0.8 laps of fuel for this last lap. The rain is just backing off. Another 1:11, that's not bad. Right, we're going in this lap. We're going to leave it on fuel map 6 as we enter the pits. We're only going to do that once we get out. Make sure we're on the dry line. I'm not going to throw caution to the wind at this point. We've come too far to blow it now. There's a record in there as well, isn't there? There's another song to sing for that one. We did 3 1:11s. He actually did a 1:08 in that drying lap. That was well done. Well done to the other guy. He actually didn't do a 1:12. Yes, he did a 1:12. on 42, so we're about evens. Right, we're heading to the pits now. We've got plenty of fuel. We timed that perfectly. We only want 12 laps of fuel, so we want to take the softs and we want 12 laps of fuel. Cheers, folks. Christ alive. 11:53 we went in. Can we? Oh, I don't know whether we will come out. On my video I go an extra lap because I wasn't sure about the actual conditions. So at this point we're on our own. I'd like to come out with 11:15. .2, we're good. We've got 4 seconds, 3 seconds on where I wanted to be. Behind Mr. Exposito. Now the critical bit here is to avoid the wet patch. Hey. Right, we're on to fuel map 1. The car's going to slide a little bit in these wet conditions, but the drying line is there. We don't care about the tyres. They're not going to be needed for all the stint, so let's go. There's one corner to be really careful of, and that's the final bend. But if you actually run wide on any corner, you're going to get wet tyres. So keep it together, keep it controlled, and remain calm. 10 minutes, 28 seconds. We've got 10 laps to go when we hit the actual start-finish line. So when we look up now, we want 10 minutes when we cross the line, and we want to run 1.0s. There we go, we've got 14 seconds, which is what I said we'd have. But for the first 4 or 5 laps, we're going to be in 1.02 land, I'm afraid. It's on, folks. We've got through the hardest part. Now we just have to hold it together. We're not cutting corners at this point. We're going to keep it in the middle of the dry patch. Ooh, I've run it wide there. Got to be careful. Use first gear. Hit that apex. It's fine. There's the sunshine. Sunshine on a rainy day makes my soul drip, drip, drip away. There we go. First time I did that, everybody turns off and goes away. That black cloud is still hanging about though. 23 seconds to get to the line to keep us on target. Don't let the front end wash out, and don't run wide on the exit here. Don't hit that wet patch, you'll be in trouble. 11 seconds inside the time. Just hear the splashes as I cut that apex. Gotta let the try. I hit that, I cut that line a little bit too much, I think. The other guy's in lap was much faster than, well, it was about the same as mine, and his out lap was about the same. His in lap was a 1:16.980. Purely because he was 1 lap later and he was on the drying line, but the out lap he was half a second quicker, which again, track was drier. We're just being a little bit cautious. We don't want to see a 00 up there. Right, it's down to 10 seconds we've got. Even on the last lap I've stuffed it here a number of times, so we just got to be careful. We don't want to be too casual, but we do want to be just starting to get back to the 1.0s. If we can get to the 1.0s before we've crossed the boundary, we're good. The time are coming down. A 1:01.77 is not too far off where we want to be. We've just got to start hitting those numbers, and then we're going to have to contend with traffic, aren't we, which is just going to be the next recipe, part of the recipe that we've got to deal with. Fastest lap of the race is us, 57.770. I don't care about setting a fastest lap now that we've got it, but if we can put one in, that'll be 3 seconds in our bag, won't it? There we go, that's a sub 1:0, so now time is on our side, we're running it back. Yamanaka there, he's running out the pits, he's just changing his tyres, don't want to be running too wide, I don't want to be in the wet. Every time we come in below the 1:0, we're putting time into our pocket. Not that we need it, it's just that if we have an issue, if we have a little spin or something, or we slide off the track, all those seconds are valuable. I'm not going deep down the inside. I'll cut him on the apex. I'm going to be slow. I think this is going to be a positive 1:0, which is bad, but let's keep going. Right, now they're pitting. They're coming off their IEMs and they're going for their softies again. They're going for the race tyres. 6 minutes. That's what we've got to get. How long till we get to the line? I'm being cautious still, not running it wide on the exit. Just over the 1:0. So that was traffic causing that. We had a couple of traffic incidents, didn't we? But let's get back on it. Less than 6 minutes remaining. That's how much gap we've got. We've got 6 laps to do. We're not counting the chickens yet, folks. It's not in the bag. I know lots of you are interested in getting to the 58 laps, because you want to see your name up there on that board. I do hope to see lots of you do well. If I do this and you can go and follow in my footsteps, that's exactly what we're here to do. And I hope you actually try and beat my time and improve on how I do it. Fettle with the setup if you want to, it's yours to be used. There we go, there's a 59.2. That's positives. I'm still being a bit cagey braking into this corner because I know you can miss the apex here and run off the corner. Less than 5 minutes to go now. You've put 55 minutes into this. It's a long way to go back to the start. And it's a long way for me to talk again. To talk about it all over again if I'm doing it all again. Oh, Christ alive, don't crash, Jimbo. Outside, inside, inside. Oh, yeah. No, I've not held it. Oh, I've not held it. Come on. That's what we've got to be aware of, folks. Oh, I just delayed. I've picked the wrong side. 18 seconds to get to the line. This is where it can all go wrong. This is where I talk about being a little bit cagey. It's alright, we've got 7 seconds to spare. That was a 1:02.7, so we lost 2.7 seconds with that incident. We're back round to Mr. Fraga. Oh, Twitch. Oh, I'm getting too excited here. Come on, it's all in our hands now. Tyres just starting to show wear. This is the difficulty. They started to push and barge. They shouldn't be fighting with the lead car at this point. They really shouldn't. But this is the game. This is the way it's supposed to play out. It's supposed to be tight. It's supposed to be close. Mr. Cookerman just gone in off his wets. Mr. Kawakami looks like he's taking the pit lane line, but he's not. Mr. Bishop there. He's made up some places, and he was in 12th or 13th place, Mr. Bishop. That's another. We've got 4 seconds advantage here. 3 laps to go. We need some clear traffic. I don't need any AI in my way now. That was another 1:02. We were doing so much better than this. Is it on? Is it done? It's still wet when you cut across those straight sections. That chicane. We need a couple of positive laps. We can't be putting 1:02s in. 1:02s are going to do this, and we're going to miss it by 2 seconds. 25 seconds to get to the line. The faster we go, the faster we're catching those AI, and they're going to be difficult to pass. 8 seconds, 7. We put in a positive lap, that's great. Negative to the 1. Mr. Soto, now I beseech you, my friend, I beg you, just get out the way. I'm gonna go round you. He didn't do so bad, did he? Mr. Hazal just goes in off his wets in 5th place. He's just coming out now. 29, 28, 27 seconds, 26, 25 to get to the line. Come on, it feels slow. Now that's us with what? That's a 59 pod, so 105. We've got 5 seconds to spare. Mr. Exposito bouncing on his brake lights. It looked like his left light is out. It looked like he put the indicator on. Don't shove me, my friend. This is the final lap, folks. Lap 57. We're going to have a victory lap if we make it, but I'm not counting my chickens. It hasn't been an error-free run. It certainly hasn't been an error-free run. We've had some mistakes. Right, we've got 3 of them in front of us. We've got 22 seconds to get to the line. "12, 11, 9, 8, 7, 6. And there's the 58th lap. That's just done it. 58 laps, first try tonight. Absolutely tip top. The race isn't over yet though. All those boys are still racing. We've got 0.1 of fuel left, so we're just gonna probably trundle around at 50%, but that was perfect fuel level. Absolutely perfect to make it to this point in the race. Short shifting. We're gonna run out of fuel somewhere down the back straight, I'd say. No, that's where we've run out of fuel. Just there. But that's just done. 58 laps. It doesn't matter about anybody overtaking us. Oh, that last lap was a 59.971. Oh my word. And the other guy's already finished on 57 laps, so we're done. I didn't even look at that screen. Holy poop. Oh my. Oh. That feels like the first time I've done it. That's absolutely mind-blowing. Oh. So it's possible. I've done it. That's the second time I've done it now. And I've got a right sweat on. Oh. Just an hour of a video, an hour of a live stream. And for those of you watching this on the recorded version, oh, it was exciting for me. There it is, first 58 laps. Right. Let's just have a quick synopsis then. A 101.16, so we completed that with the extra lap. We lapped Tsukuba 3 times, and the last guy we lapped 2 of them 7 times. Fastest lap 57.770. Lap 6. There's the car, pretty tidy. And we just have to go to look at the ranking board, even though it's not relevant for the run. But that did put us in 4th place. Nobody else there has got the 58 laps yet. Let's have a look at the World Top 10. We actually overtook Red. Put us up into 4th place. Ray Guy, thank you very much, sir. Good to see you. Sphinx there on 58. Rio has gone to 59 laps. Okay, the next challenge then. The next challenge is 59 laps. Who's got a setup? Holy hell! I've got to find another minute, or is that just a perfect run? Oh, I'm broken. Absolutely broken. But Sam's there. Sam did it the night before I did. Caleb, well done. Red, it was your setup that started me off on this. Thank you very much. Sphinx, haven't seen you around, mate, but it'd be good to see you again. Ray Guy, knockout, mate. Well done for doing it. Lord Goomba, don't know that fella, and these guys are on 57. They need to watch the video. But my brain is now there. What did that guy do? Oh, that's broke my heart. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. 58 laps is a challenge. Right. No, I don't think so. I think it's going to take a little bit more preparation. And there you go. 0 miles for the day. 74.1. I went into that cold. No. 3-star. You got to love it. That just kicks you on, doesn't it? Right in the fresticles. I am whacked. That was hard. And I did start this. Well, no, let's call that it for the night. I'm not going to go any further with this one. This is going to be it for update 1.36. We're going to finish on a high. So thank you very much, folks. Thanks for sticking past us. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for all your support. Just watching the videos helps. Likes, subscriptions. Do what you want to. It's up to you. But thank you very much. We'll see you on the next one. All the best. Take care.